In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my top 5 tips for successfully switching to a keto diet. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Melissa. If you've ever heard of a keto diet and wondered just how you could go about making such a big change in your own life, you're in luck. I've got my top 5 success tips for making the transition for yourself. Let's get into it. Okay, so my first tip is clean out your cupboards, your fridge, your freezer, your deep freeze. Say you have a stash in your underwear drawer of chocolate, just in case. Get rid of it. You're addicted to sugar. Sugar is a drug. You can't just keep a stash hidden away thinking, you never know, I might need that. No, get it out of your house, give it away to your friends, relatives, neighbors, anybody. Okay, so now that your cupboards and your fridge are bare, you're gonna need to go shopping and stock back up. So tip number 2 is go shopping and get yourself all the keto foods. There's so much stuff that you can have on a keto diet. It is not nearly as restrictive and sad as your typical low-fat, high sugar diet. So you can have all the meats, high fat, full fat cheese, nuts, pork rinds, avocados, coconut oil, butter, drinks, coffee, tea, diet, soda, any drink with 0 sugar, 0 carbs is good. With the foods, try and find things that are maybe 1 or 2 carbs or less per serving and bring them home. Stock your cupboards, make sure that you have snacks ready. Look for the snacks, nuts, cheese sticks, anything you can grab on the go, because you're going to be going through withdrawal. You're going to be hungry. You're probably used to eating a lot or frequently, so make sure that you have keto snacks and things in the cupboard that you can grab if you're feeling ravenous. Or you have a craving, or you're thinking, I can't do this anymore. All I want is a real taco. And you'll be okay because you have things in the cupboard that you can grab to get you through that tough time, that tough moment. Okay, so tip number 3 is do not start exercising yet. You want to focus on the diet, figuring out your new way of eating, what you can and can't eat, your ratios in your tracking app, yada yada. Do not exercise yet. Don't start intermittent fasting. Don't start knitting. Focus on your diet. Keep your stress level to a minimum, and it'll help. One thing at a time. All right, so you brought all the groceries home. You're gonna start eating the keto foods. I want you to just eat. Eat until you're full. When you're hungry, eat again. Do not worry about your calorie totals. Don't count calories at this point. Don't stress right now. Just eat the foods, the keto foods, okay? That leads into my next tip, which is to download a macro calculator or a keto diet app. You will plug in your height, weight, gender, age, activity level, and it will generate a macronutrient profile for you, which is, it'll include calories, but what you want to focus on is the protein, fat, and carb ratio that it gives you. In a typical keto diet, your ratios that you're aiming for are 75% fat, 20% protein, and 5% carbs. Just 5% of your calories a day should come from carbs. It's a big change. And if you're not using a calculator, a food tracking app, it's going to be hard for you to figure out those ratios. So you have your app, you figured out, it's given you your macro profile, so then you will need to start tracking the foods that you're eating. It can be a little tedious, but this is a learning process, and you need to completely relearn everything you know about eating and food, really. So plug the foods in that you're eating, and at the end of the day, you'll see your percentages. Maybe probably the first few days or weeks, you're gonna go over on protein because that's just, it's weird for us to eat so much fat. We've been taught for our entire lives to avoid fat. Fat's the enemy. So don't be surprised if in the beginning you do go over on protein. It's okay. Do not freak out. Don't think, oh my God, I can't do this. It's fine. Tomorrow's another day and you try again. So as you're tracking and you're starting to feel good, you're wondering, well, am I doing this right? Am I even in ketosis? There is a tool that you can use if you want. It's completely optional, but you can purchase ketone pea strips. Basically, you can buy them on Amazon. Walgreens, I think, even has them. They're pretty inexpensive, but it's just a little stick, and you pee on it, and it'll change colors if you have ketones in your urine. And you compare it with the little chart on the bottle to show you how high, the level of ketones in your urine, so that you can say, holy moly, I'm doing it. I'm producing ketones. This diet is actually working. The thing that really makes it optional is eventually, the further you get into this journey and into ketosis, the less effective those pea strips are going to become. Eventually your body is going to figure out that it can use those ketones as fuel, and it's not going to be eliminating them in your urine. So eventually the pea stick is not going to change colors because your body is holding on to and utilizing those ketones. So it's really only a helpful tool in the first maybe 2 to 4, maybe 8 weeks, I don't know, just in the beginning of your journey. And if you're someone that really wants to know if you're actually in ketosis, then I would recommend them. It made me feel better. It was motivation for me to keep going because I was doing it. I was succeeding in my goal, which was to be producing ketones. Yay! Okay, so that leads me into my last tip, probably my most important tip for success, is you need to be mentally ready to make the change. You need to be prepared to change everything about the way you eat, what you eat. It's not some little change that you can make. It's huge, and if you're going to stick with it and be successful, you need to be ready up here. If you're not going to be fully committed. You are going to be easily tempted by all the non-keto foods, and it's not going to work. So make sure that you are 100% committed and willing to make the change in your life. Now, if you live with somebody who is not on board with going keto and is not supportive, that's okay. You're going to be surrounded by temptation anyways. It's just going to be a little bit harder because you're going to have the temptation still in your house. But don't be deterred. You can still do it. You are going to feel better and look better, and the people around you are going to notice. If it's a coworker or somebody that doesn't actually know what you're doing, they're going to ask. And when you tell them, that's going to get their wheels turning, thinking, well, I wonder if maybe I should try that. And then they can begin to make their own mental preparations to make their own lifestyle change. This is essentially a personal journey, and nobody can do it for you but you. So if you want to make the change, then you will. But you have to be prepared mentally to do it. So I hope these tips were helpful. I hope that you feel a little more prepared to begin making this change in your own life. I know that if you truly give it your all, you won't regret it. So thank you so much for stopping by. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, think about subscribing, and until next time, keep it keto. Bye.